This is the Daily Divide. The government is launching a new business investor visa aimed at attracting overseas capital and creating jobs. From November, foreign investors who buy into an existing New Zealand business worth at least 1 to 2 million can secure a path to residency with a 12-month fast track for $12 million investors, or at least a 3-year route with $1 million. Businesses must be at least 5 years old, financially sound, and employ 5 or more full-time staff, with excluded sectors like fast food, gambling, and adult entertainment. Immigration Minister Erica Stanford says the scheme replaces the underperforming entrepreneur visa, offering clearer settings and stronger economic benefits. She expects around 100 to 150 approvals in the first year. The move comes as Cabinet also weighs loosening the foreign buyers ban with potential carve-outs for wealthy investors under the $5 to $10 million Active Investor Plus scheme. Business leader says the changes could inject much needed cash into the economy, particularly in Auckland. Public Service Commissioner is weighing a major shake-up of government agencies, including the Ministries for Women, Pacific Peoples and Disabled People, as part of a push for greater efficiency. Sir Brian Rose said all options are on the table, though he's ruled out changes to Te Puni Kokiri and indicated functions and branding would remain. Finance Minister Nicola Willis says it's too early to judge, but the goal is to cut back office costs while keeping community voices prominent. Labour's Carmel Sepuloni accuses the government of sidelining the ministries, while Public Service Association says their advice is vital for groups often are overlooked. Act, which campaigned on abolishing demographic ministries, argued all services should be delivered to all New Zealanders without identity-based agencies. Ministers have yet to see formal proposals, but critics warn the review could undermine representation for women, Māori, Pacific and disabled communities. The Reserve Bank has slashed its housing forecast, now tipping prices to fall slightly this year, instead of growing 7%. It warns peak prices are dragging on the economy, with household wealth and spending tied closely to property values. But economists are split. Some argue recovery shouldn't depend on higher house prices, pointing instead to the need for more affordable homes and warning against fueling another boom and bust cycle. Meanwhile, the government's plan to shift all vehicles to road user charges from 2027 is stirring debate. Critics say it'll push up costs for low-emission hybrids while making it cheaper to run gas guzzlers, a move they warn could raise emissions. Supporters argue it will finally level the playing field, ensuring EVs remain the cheapest cars to run. The government's moving to fast-track new supermarket approvals in a bid to break the Woolworths foodstuffs duopoly and cut grocery bills. Finance Minister Nicola Willis says zoning and consents have been a nightmare for new players. One chain spent $3 million in 4 years just to get a store approved. Under the new legislation, due by year's end, projects that boost competition will get an express lane through the consent process, with a single authority handling applications and pre-approved designs, speeding things up. Costco has already signalled it could expand faster under the changes. 5 prospective domestic competitors have shown interest, though global giants Aldi and Lidl are still on the sidelines. Labour calls the announcement too little, too late, warning it won't ease checkout prices anytime soon. Willis hasn't ruled out breaking up the duopoly, but says it would be a major step and still under review. Whānau of Ruapeki Island and Foveaux Strait are celebrating a landmark High Court ruling confirming they hold customary marine title over the surrounding waters. The court recognised the Keough and Topi and Whāriti families under uninterrupted connection to the Takutai Moana since before 1814, affirming the ancestral rights and authority under tikanga. The decision means the whānau can participate in marine management decisions, though it does not grant private ownership or restrict public access. Ngāi Tahu has hailed the ruling as a momentous win, but says government plans to tighten the law could unfairly raise the bar for future applicants and even force recent decisions like Ruapeke's back through the courts. Ruapeke's whānau says the recognition about whakapapa and protecting their tūranga waiwai for future generations, though they're frustrated they may have to fight for it all over again. Regional Development Minister Shane Jones is pumping nearly $25 million into Hawke's Bay and Tairawhiti to boost horticulture and water resilience. The funding will expand orchards and build reservoirs and strengthen flood protection, with Jones saying it's about jobs, export and preparing isolated regions for storms and droughts. Meanwhile, Auckland Council is welcoming a crackdown on environmental rule breakers with fines under the Resource Management Act, jumping to $1 million for individuals and $10 million for companies.
The council says the tougher penalties finally put the cost where it belongs, on the polluters. And in education, the ministry has clarified rules on what counts as being open for instruction, revealing some schools have been shortchanging students and in some cases by almost a week a year. Parents of disabled children say closures of learning support units during exam session have left their kids missing weeks of schooling. From next year, the ministry will monitor schools to ensure they meet minimum operating opening days.